بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. Today I have two Revert sisters that are going to share their reversion story with us, and get to the video and see what they say about their reversion and why they chose Islam. Without further ado, let's get to the video and listen what they say about their reversion. Let's get to the video.
I know me from this video of the Shahada that got a bit viral. My name is Mariana. I'm from Portugal. I was a Christian, a street preacher, and I used to go all over the world to preach the gospel, to bring people to Christianity, including Muslims. I used to preach against Islam because I thought Islam was not the truth. So if you believe something is not the truth, of course you're going to try to warn people. My conversion, it didn't happen in 4 hours debate like many people are saying. It happened actually slowly. It started 1 year ago when I went to evangelize, to preach to this group of Muslims in Portugal. I was with my Christian friends, we were preaching to these Muslims, and for the first time I heard about Islam, what they believe, who is Jesus in Islam, who is Allah. I never heard, I didn't know, I had no idea about these things. So we started talking, and I started searching so much, and I ended up getting knowledge to preach against Islam. I even learned with some famous Christian preachers, like, if you're a Christian, I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. I'm telling you, like, I did my research. I've been studying it. So anything that Christians can tell me to go and check this, I did it. I'm telling you, I did it for more than 1 year. I was trying to prove Islam was false. I had a notebook with all the things. Why is Islam false? Why is the Quran from the devil? All these things. So I'm telling you, I did my research for more than 1 year, and there's nothing you can show me because I was in your side trying to prove to Muslims, and I ended up converting. All the things that you're showing me, I already saw it, so there's no point. It was not just by studying, by reading, by going to the original, but I had many signs. I was fasting, I was asking God, I was praying, asking for revelation, asking God to show me the truth, to guide me. I believe this is the truth, and I'm calling you people to worship one God. You know, it's not hard. It's what all the prophets preached about, even including Jesus. I'll start posting more on this account, and specifically about my conversion, about your questions about the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, Council of Nicaea, all these things. You can ask me anything, and yeah, may God bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
So who am I? If you're new here, I am Alana. I am actually a Scottish revert into Islam. I've been living in and around Malaysia for the last 4 years, and I first came to Malaysia to do my year exchange with the University of Edinburgh, but I came to do a year exchange with Uni Razak, University Tan Abdul Razak. And if you've seen one of my recent announcements, I've had so many big announcements recently, but I am now back at Uni Razak studying my Masters. So my story with Islam actually begins with Uni Razak. Uni Razak is such a special university for me. I am their student ambassador for this year and next year, which is just one of many other announcements I've made recently. Now, my story of Islam really began there at Uni Razak. So when I came from doing my 2 years at University of Edinburgh, I had 1 year exchange, and then I had to go back to University of Edinburgh and finish off my undergraduate degree in international business. First of all, when I came to Malaysia, I had no idea Malaysia was even this Muslim country. I didn't know anything about Malaysia. I came here, I started to see all the different religions and cultures here, and I was like, hey, this is all very interesting to me. I've never been in such a culturally diverse country in my whole life. So slowly but surely, I started to make a whole bunch of Muslim friends. But before that, when I started my journey at Uni Razak, I had a few extra courses that I could pick from, and one of those was Islamic studies. Now, I had a whole host of other business, entrepreneurial courses I could pick from, a whole host. But for some reason, when I was looking at this page of different courses I could take, I looked at Islamic studies and thought, hey, why not? Why not push myself to learn something completely new? Now, at this point, I only had one Muslim friend who I met, Ramsha. I met her at Edinburgh Airport when I was working there as an undergrad, and she told me a little bit about Islam when I was back in Edinburgh. And one of the things I remember working in the airport, now Edinburgh Airport is an extremely busy airport, especially during the summer months, and I remember Ramsha fasting, and we were all like, oh, are you dieting? And you know, Ramsha's a very petite lady. She doesn't need to diet. And she was like, no, I'm fasting for religious reasons. And we were like, wow, religious reasons, okay. Now, this was my first kind of introduction into Islam back in Scotland, and I didn't really understand. And I remember asking Rumsha a few questions like, oh, can you drink alcohol? And she was like, no. And I was like, wow, okay. So when I came to Uni Razak, I pushed myself to try learn a completely new religion. So when I took this Islamic study class, I remember going to the class, I was like, I don't know what to expect. Will people already be Muslim there? Maybe they've been Muslim their whole life, and then there's me. And now that I think about it, I was not even dressed appropriately for this class. Like, okay, of course I was not wearing hijab, but I was wearing like a short sleeve. I was wearing like jeans with these like big holes in them. Like, now that I think of it, I really should have dressed more appropriately for that class. But bless, my Islamic studies teacher was so sweet. She was like, Alana, come inside. She was like, Alana, what are you even doing here? And I was like, I just want to learn about Islam. And she was like, all right, great, sit down. So that was just a 3-month, 1-term Islamic studies class, and I know if you've been here on my channel, you've heard me talk and reference this class. Basically, we learned about like the 5 pillars of Islam. We really explored the hadith, and I really quite fell in love with the hadith at that point. A lot of things started to make sense in my head, and of course the Quran. We started to learn about parts of the Quran, and I remember my Islamic studies teacher, one of the first things she ever told me about Islam was, Islam is a religion that tries to preserve life at all costs. And I remember that just like flipped a switch in my head, and I was like, wow, a lot of things make sense now. For example, I don't want to talk much about alcohol, but like alcohol like clouds our judgment. It makes us not even know what we're doing, remember what we're doing, and that is not good to be a good human. If you are not intentionally trying to be a good human, the shaitan will come and try and take over your body and make you do things that are bad. So you're literally putting fuel in the fire if you're going to drink alcohol. You know, there's many other things that just started to make sense. And you know, Islam is all about like preserving a really beautiful family setup as well. Oftentimes I can see back home that the family structure is starting to break away, and I can see that almost less here in Malaysia, but definitely in Muslim countries around the world, which is super interesting. So of course my journey started to emerge at Uni Razak when I started my Islamic studies class. So over these 3 months I really delved into Islam, and I have honestly never researched something so much in my whole life during that time. In these 3 months, I was YouTubing, searching different things about the Quran. Like, I was doing so much research because something inside of me just like got kind of lit on fire. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. This is not what I thought Islam was. If I look to how the West portrays Islam in the media, I'm so shocked. It could not be so far from the truth. And
Yeah, brothers and sisters, the video is ended, and as you can see, the sisters share their story in details, and they explain why they chose Islam and why they want to be a Muslim. Yeah, some people believe when they see a Muslim woman, she was oppressed. Nobody is going to tell nobody how they dress because they have a faith and they have a religion. That's the way they chose to dress, and every Muslim woman should dress that way. It's a identity, and it's a uniform. It's the only way you can identify a Muslim woman. There is no way around. You don't have to ask and say, "Hey, are you Muslim?" Because you already see it. You don't even ask the question. That's the uniform, bro. So this story we all watched together in details. I don't have to say much about it since you guys already heard. And I'm going to end this video right here. I will see you in the next video. Inshallah, I will upload more videos, more better quality videos, good videos, and I will see you in my next video. Please subscribe to the channel, like, and no hate speech. If you want to discuss something, you can nicely speak. We can nicely talk to you. We're ready to answer any questions that you have through our knowledge. But no hate speech is not accepted. We don't need it. We're not ready for it. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.